Please enjoy our time with the one, the only Peter Range, as well as we all want to say yes to life. Good morning, Peter.
Hey, good morning, Pat, Dave, and Ron. It's great to be with you this morning. It is a great day to be alive.
Amen to that, brother. And so many good things going on in and around us. Some difficulties that we need to continue to be aware of as well and give our best efforts to as well, right?
That's right. Plenty of things going on. But let me begin. Just yesterday, I took my kids to church and my wife as well. We said a few prayers there, as we like to do. And but then afterwards, we visited a local cemetery just to pray for all the military veterans who had given their lives. And it was just incredible to see in this particular cemetery all the flags that have been laid. And so thank you to those folks who go out and actually lay those flags so that we can recognize our troops, particularly those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. So really moving experience and a good reminder for each one of us to remember our death, that we're not going to be here for eternity on this earth. And so just a good reminder that we have to kind of order our lives towards our ultimate heavenly homeland. But speaking about ordering our lives, I want to invite all our folks listening, just one more kind of invitation to our Students for Life conference happening. It's actually in Sunbury, Ohio, which is just north of Columbus. But it's our Students for Life conference, ccv.org/Students for Life. Ryan Bomberger, who's just lived an incredible life. He was actually conceived in rape. He's the 1% of stories that's used to justify the 99% of abortions, but he was conceived and raped. His mother courageously chose adoption. He was adopted and loved and now has 2 adopted children of his own. He's going to be at the conference. That, again, is this Saturday, May 31st. All are welcome. It's geared towards students, but really anyone of any age can come, ccv.org/Students for Life. And at that conference, I'll be talking a little bit about the importance of the family, but just updating folks on things happening in the pro-life movement. So let me do that here as well. You may have seen last week, and I had actually looked this up because I'm surprised that this is the actual name of the bill. I thought it was the way that they were just simply kind of referring to the bill. But it's actually called the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, H.R. 1, which passed the House of Representatives. Now, I am not advocating to say I like everything in the bill in any way, shape, or form. However, it does some really powerful pro-life things that, we should be aware of. So, number one, it removes taxpayer-funded gender transition procedures for minors and adults. That's a good thing. Number two, and this is what I'm super excited about, it defunds big abortion groups like Planned Parenthood to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. It's really hard to defund an industry which is so entrenched in everyday American life, particularly like Planned Parenthood. So the fact that the House got that done is just a tremendous, tremendous blessing. We have to encourage our senators now to kind of get behind that same defunding of Planned Parenthood. But there's some other pro-life things it also does, which I think is really, really positive. So it sets the child tax credit to $2,000, and it pegs it to inflation. So as inflation rises, so will the child tax credit. For the next 4 years, it's going to add $500 to every child that you have. So I've got number 5 child is on the way, so I'm super excited about that. And that just from a personal perspective, but just, encouraging people to have kids. I think that's a good thing. And speaking of encouraging people to have kids, it boosts the adoption tax credit to $16,800, also pegging that for inflation. So a lot of people say, well, why is abortion so cheap and then adoption is so expensive? Well, you can get an adoption tax credit for $16,800, pegged to inflation for years to come, making it more accessible to low-income families. And it also introduces a new child-friendly investment account, including a federal $1,000 baby bonus, along with a few other pro-life wins. So some really good things in what is actually called One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Again, I had to look that up. That's actually the name of the bill, and that's, very of the style of President Trump, but some really, really good pro-life things in there. And it's needed now, we could say more than ever, because the Charlotte Lozier Institute actually just came out with their new kind of abortion calculated numbers. Now, the challenge is that the government doesn't have complete, thorough reporting system for abortion. There's some states like the state of California that has a lot of abortions that does not require them to report their numbers to the state government. So there's different groups that take a look at the numbers, and the Charlotte Lozier Institute is one of those groups. It actually compiled numbers from the Guttmacher Institute, which is a part of Planned Parenthood's research arm. There's also a website called We Count. So they took data from these two organizations and try to compare that data and make sure they have the most accurate picture. In 2023 to 2024, from July of 23 to June of 24, they've compiled that they believe that there's at least, and I say at least because there's a lot of abortions that are taking place through the mail now that we're just simply not able to track, unfortunately, these abortion drugs that are being sent over the mail. But they report, at least as far as the compiled number of abortions, 1.1 million abortions in the United States of America over this past year. That's devastating, particularly for a nation who is we're literally below the replacement rate, the population rate that we need to replace ourselves in the United States of America. So the fact that we're killing over 1 million kids every single year, God can't bless a nation that is killing its own children. So that's really, really devastating numbers and something that we have to be aware of to recognize just the importance of this issue. And worldwide, the World Health Organization says there's roughly over 70 million abortions every single year. So these are revelation-type numbers that are taking place in our country. And, most of us are concerned about just going about our daily business, but we're really living in revelation-type times because of the number of lives that are being snuffed out. So here's some of the good news, though. A lot of people will argue, pro-life laws, they really don't matter. And because of the fact that you have these abortion pills that are being shipped, it's hard to kind of track the numbers and so on and so forth. Well, that's true, but there's a lot of abortions that are tracked that we do see, and we're able, because some states have really good reporting systems, that we are able to see decrease in abortions, particularly when we have pro-life laws that are passed. So in Indiana, for example, the state that's right next to both Ohio and Michigan here, in 2024, because they have new pro-life legislation in place, what a blessing. We see that there were 146 abortions reported in Indiana, but that's down 97% from the previous year. That's incredible.
That's great.
A 97% decrease because a pro-life law is put in place. So keep fighting, don't give up, and go support that big, beautiful bill.